Welcome everybody. This is CBSI presents Tales from Flipside 49. I'm Dino. Little shorthanded tonight, but we're gonna make it through it. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Hey, P-Dub's here. Last show before Christmas. Hope everybody's ready.
What's up, gents? Brian McClay, working my life away.
And pulling up the rear is Scotty Too Hottie from Philadelphia. And I, too, am working my tail off right now. 'Tis the season, right, Brian?
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous, man.
What's busy for you?
Well, I was telling Paul before we started, my company does the shutdown every year. I work for Honeywell, and Honeywell does is a space defense contractor, like a subcontractor, and aerospace, and they do a worldwide shutdown supposedly every year, for 9 days for the holidays. And I don't think I've been able to take part in that shutdown in 6 or 7 years, because they always 2 weeks before we're supposed to leave on the shutdown, they go, "Oh, we can't have anybody leave. We got too much stuff we got to get done." And it's happening again.
You gotta love corporate America.
Oh, it's driving me crazy, man. I'm doing everything I can to find a way out.
Yeah, good luck.
I know. And I think it was everybody's dream to make all this money off these comic books and this and that. And
it turns out it's just a hobby.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right?
Even if you're running a business in it, it's just a hobby.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work, but it's
you have to like it. You really have to like it, because Dino and I talked about this sometimes at cons. You get those dealers who just seem so crabby and miserable that they're like at cons, and
it's terrible.
It's just like if I had to make my living off comics, I think I'd probably feel the same way. Like
I would too, man. Like, so I just sit there and it's a grind, man. Like, and I understand like living that life, especially if you're doing it every weekend. Like,
oh, could you imagine traveling all over the country?
I mean, you're staying in hotel rooms, and it's not like you're staying. And I'm sure these guys aren't staying in like premier hotel rooms. I mean, they're trying to, cost conscious as possible. You know what I'm saying? At least, I mean, you don't want to stay in a crap hotel, but it's like
you can't have your hotel be the same as your booth cost.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be in the Sheraton in the penthouse here or some kind of crazy like that. But I don't know.
One of the things that I always notice every time a con happens in Phoenix, you always get Craigslist just pounded with out of town guys going, "Being here for the Comic Con will buy your collection." And I'm just thinking to myself, man, these guys not only have to set up all their crap and lug all their stuff around, they got to go try and refuel their product
inventory. Yeah,
inventory. It's just, man, it's just
a grind. It's a never-ending like vicious circle, like a serpent eating its tail.
Well, and my local comic shop does that too. He's like, he has one guy who just travels around the country, just looking for books and mailing it back to him, man.
Wow. Well, I remember when a couple years ago when I was first getting back into both hobbies of comics and sports cards, and one of the big companies, I've talked about them before, is Baseball Card Exchange for the sports cards, and they have a guy that's his main job. Is all he does is he's like a part-time investigator, part-time buyer, and he's just trying to find tips on people who have unopened cases of old sports cards collections, from sports card shops where they had to shut it down because the economy took crap, and they have all their inventory in some garage or storage unit. And I always thought that would be such a cool job to be able to go find those diamonds in the rough. And then when this whole thing kind of
like American Pickers.
Exactly. And I started kind of doing it locally. I think we all kind of started doing this, especially when CBSI was first starting, and the kind of thing that took over with comics where speculating just got so crazy, when it first started going crazy years ago. And we all kind of started doing that in our little hometowns. And even in just doing it in your little hometowns, it's hard. I couldn't imagine doing it all over the country.
No.
Yeah, because how many collections you think you're going to see something that's just crap? And can you imagine doing that all over the country?
It's almost as bad as Storage Wars, dude. Like the guys who just sit there and try to play like Storage Wars. You see like the one time when they get like a rare collection of something in a storage unit, but the 99 other percent time it's like just garbage, like things you can't sell. I mean, that's basically what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
there he is.
It was kind of funny you bring up Storage Wars, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but probably maybe a little less than a year ago. I can't remember the guy's name on Storage Wars, but I think he's German. He's got an American wife, but I think he's German, and he's kind of younger looking, and he's kind of people kind of make fun of him all the time. He ended up finding a collection of comics that was
I know what you're talking about.
Did you see that collection? He's got YouTube videos where he's just going through this collection he bought, and he has no idea about comics, and he's getting things graded because he's being told by these people who are contacting him over the internet, like, dude, you have no idea what he's got. And they're all raw, and this whole collection is covering his whole house. It's on every area where you can fit books, and they're all stacked.
Wow.
And it's every major Silver Age book you can think of. I mean, just thousands. And the guy he fell into it. Yeah, he said how much he paid, I think, and it was like ridiculous the amount he paid. And it's funny because went down that rabbit hole of watching those YouTube videos of him, and he gets to the point after so many, he's like, I started getting these graded and looking at the appreciation and the value of these things. He's like, some of these are better than stocks, and he was talking about some of the Silver Age stuff, and he's like, I've decided to keep some of these because the amount of money they're going up right now is ridiculous to sell them. So I'm not even going to sell some of these.
And if they're high enough grade, you're not going to get them in that grade again.
Oh, and he was getting them in high grades, like the high 9s on these Silver Age books, and they were all just raw, and not bags and boards.
You probably didn't impress him either.
No pressing, nothing. No bags and boards. You know what I mean? And he's just going through them he doesn't even know what he's looking at. And he's going through them in the video. Like, if you guys see something that's a good one, just let me know. And he's going through
yes.
It's like a Twitch feed, dude. Everyone's like, yes, thumbs up, a bunch of emojis.
At first I thought this guy's, he's playing a joke on people, but he's not. He really had no clue. And you could tell 4 weeks later, he's putting out the videos like, you know what, a lot of these I'm not even going to sell. Sorry, guys.
Dennis Hayes on the YouTube chat says 10 or 20K for access to it, and there are piles of Golden Age books too, he said.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
It was unreal, and it just made me sick. But on top of it, I'm sitting here going, there's a lot of guys who probably, are out there trying to find that same thing, who have looked at a lot of crappy collections of Valiant books,
And it's funny, then you get somebody who's never dug and grind it like that, and he gets it in a storage unit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was unbelievable.
And you never could do. I mean, we would never get that lucky. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you got to keep grinding though. That's the.
I mean, the first deal I ever did on comics when I got back in, dude, was I got like a Detective Comics 359 and like a whole bunch of Uncanny X-Men keys and a whole bunch of other stuff for like $125.
Yeah.
And the Detective Comics was beat, dude. It was like a 2.5 maybe.
Well, I got it. I'm not going to get into it. You guys know why, but I've told you guys about that collection that I saw. I had a buddy, and I'll just kind of go over it a little bit, but not get into it too much. I had a buddy who came into a collection that was the most amazing thing that I ever seen, and they're out there, and it can happen. It's just whether or not it's worth the grind to get it. Because most people that come into those type of collections, it's the people that, like we were just talking about, they have no idea what they're looking at, and it's just dumb luck that they come in this collection where you're looking at $10,000 books, and you're going, and the guy's asking, are any of these good? And you're like, $10,000 book, $3,000 book, $10,000 book. You're like, yeah, these are those books, and they're out there. It's just the guys who aren't searching for them that find them.
Yeah, yeah. Like this week, these next 2 weeks, I'm off of work until the new year. And I was talking to Paul. I was like, maybe I should go down to Ohio and just for a week or for a couple of days and like look through books. And
you've been buying some books.
Yeah, so I got the camera, dude. I don't know if people can see it on the YouTube screen. I bet they can. But I got I can bust them out. I got the Sean Leggett little box here.
Why don't you flex for us?
Yeah, we can flex a little bit. I did this one. So like New Mutants 98. Something like that. It's probably like 9.6. There's like a tick on the back. So I got it for a decent deal. Throw that over there. I picked up this bad boy, Little House Secrets 92. It's got this big old can in it right here, so you can see. This camera is actually really nice, man.
It is. I can see the crease.
Yeah, I know. It's a Logitech. I guess we can review it since it's Flipside, but it's a Logitech C920. I got it for like $50 on Amazon. It does like HD quality, 1080p, so like you actually can see like pretty decently like the actual book and stuff. So I mean that's pretty cool. And it's actually like it's not too bad or lens flare either. With like when you know like this, when you actually do it pretty decently, you actually can see like
it's very clear.
I love that the way Swamp Thing looks in that on that cover.
Yeah, it's such a great cover.
Oh yeah, you know what, guys? This is probably the first copy I ever had. I've never had a copy of this, honestly. I've had New Mutants 98, but I've never had a House of Secrets 92. So
I regret selling mine.
I think Swamp Thing is probably up there with Dead Man with me, one of the most underrated characters. I know a lot of people are heavy on the Zatanna spec and stuff like that, but I still think, the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run is still underrated, spec wise and resale wise, and it's just.
I mean, I can flex some more if you want. I got a bunch of books in here, dude. In this little.
I meant like literally flex. Like,
no, please, not me, not anymore. I haven't even worked out that much, man. It's terrible. Dude. It's terrible. I gained like 10 pounds. I've been eating carbs. It's been terrible, man. Holidays and killing me.
Dina's trying to be a Twitch girl.
I know, dude. Hey, trying to get our ratings up somehow, man. The pretty one has to get the camera, I guess. Jeez, oh, Pete. So.
All right. Well, there was an interesting thread in the main page of comic book of CBSI. People were asking about inventory software.
Yep.
And what do you guys use?
For a while there, I used what's the one that's the really expensive one that was I forget what it's called. It was like they had their for the longest time. It was the only one out there, and they would actually show up at like San Diego Con and.
I know what you're talking about. Hold on.
Yeah.
I should be more prepared for this.
I think if you buy the most expensive one at the time, I think in like 2006, I think I paid like $200 for it.
Wow.
And at the time, it was the first one that had like the covers and
was it comic base?
Comic base. That's it.
There you go.
That's the one. That's the only one I've ever used. And I used it back in like 2006, probably 2000 to 2006. And it was great, but it just gets to the point where, you kind of, I know what I was using it for wasn't for the spec thing. I was, putting everything I ever had on there, and got to the point where you're just like, and I didn't have the scanner because I know a lot of them, you get the scanner and just scan the barcode.
Mm-hmm.
So, it became more of a pain in the ass than it was worth. So I quit dealing with that whole thing.
Yeah, Dino and I for Forgotten 5 use CLZ for all our inventory. It's a hard one to say.
I don't even know. Like for us as a personal books and company books. I mean, right now we have
like 2,400 in there.
2,400. No, we have 2,793, and we keep all the sold listings too. So like active, I don't know how many we have active, but 2,793. So I mean, we almost got 3,000 comics launched in this thing. So I mean,
it's a great software. We use the cloud-based internet for computers, and then we have the app for our phone. The app's freaking great. I mean, you literally just sit there and scan the barcodes with your phone, bing, 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 and then upload them all. And the best thing for us is that like you can actually there's personal information you could put for each book, like price paid, grade, notes, location. Like if you want to put like it's in box 21.
That's sweet.
Things like that. Yeah, it's pretty customizable because there's a lot of fields that you can input data in.
How much does it run you?
I think it was the app was $14.99 purchase, like a one-time purchase, and then I think we pay like $60 a year or $50 a year, something like that.
So something cheap for managing your software theoretically.
It's not bad. I mean, we tried doing the traditional spreadsheet, but when you get over, like we have 3,000 books. I mean, at that point, it gets a little cumbersome to be using a spreadsheet.
Well, and the thing too is like, and then we have like for I guess a little peel back of our company. Like if you have like multiples of a book, that's where you get really in trouble. Like you're like, oh, I thought I listed that one, or that one's not listed, or it's somebody else's book, and it's like which multiple sold, and
Yeah,
that was a pain. I would just add on the app though, I mean, we have a joint account obviously, so we're all in it at some same time, but you want to make sure you refresh your app, or was it like manually sync it? Yeah, sync your app before you start adding more books in. That's the only thing.
Yeah, because if you add books online, like on the computer, it'll sync automatically.
Yeah.
But if you're using the app, you have to actually set it to sync automatically. It does not default that way. But it's a good software. Like I use it pretty much the most, and I found it to be very very user friendly, easy to navigate. And the best thing is it finds the books. Like if you can't scan the barcode, you could search by title.
Yeah.
And some of the harder stuff that doesn't have barcodes, sometimes you don't really know what it's called, because half the time they come up with this weird ass title that you're like, I don't see that on the cover at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then they fill in all the information too, don't they? I think they fill in.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you all the publishing information. Who wrote it, who was the artist, cover artist, and all that.
The full title of everything.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna edit one of these so I can see it.
I can
share my screen actually. It's
actually really good for variants. Like if there's a book that has like 7 or 8 variants, it tells you exactly which cover it is, cover E. And if it's an incentive or all that, it'll give you all that information too.
I don't think it's gonna get me kicked off of YouTube. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can screen share this. I found out I can screen share, guys. So this is
Dino's got new toys.
Let's see. Let's see if I can do this right. I think I don't know what present to everyone means. I'm gonna try this out. I don't know what this really means, but so basically, I guess it's all just okay. So even if you talk, I guess it does it. So basically, see, it has like Heroes Comics. It has the issue number. It gives you like the edition, like Campbell, that gets loaded in. Comics and stuff. The title, publisher, date, release date, what the cover price was.
Show them the personal tab.
Okay, yeah. And then I just want to do this before. So not in collection, in your collection, on your wish list, you have stuff like that. The index numbers, like we use it as SKUs and stuff. So like if that's like 136, and every time it gets loaded, it's a unique number. Personal information. So like that's the location he was talking about. Condition is like we have it loaded. You can do like CBCS. This is an old listing, so I can mess with this. And there's all the other grades. You can put all the other grades in there. Purchase date. If you purchase it from what store, have you read it? If you're keeping, if you're keeping reading lists and stuff like that, and then purchase price, the current value, and then we put notes in there for like, so like Scott puts in like, is there?
Yeah, if there's like damage that you can't see in the scans, like centerfold pop or spine split or anything like that.
And then we put like variant. I put the CGC numbers in mine, or the barcode numbers, in case we have different. Like, say we have Edge of Spider-Verse 2 book. Say we have 2 or 3 of those. I'll put the CGC serial number in there, because you can put every cover in there if you wanted. It loads a standard screenshot of one, like a stock photo.
But and you can change it though to something that like you could actually change it to the actual scans if you wanted to.
Yeah. And then so basically we do that, and then so you just upload the cover, and then if you wanted to, but we do that for CGC. I just put the serial numbers in. If you make a copy though, it won't show you the cover. It'll give you like a blank here. So you might have to upload a cover or find a cover or something so that's the software. I mean, like you said, and then you can search through comics. Like I can search through stuff like Edge of Spider-Verse, and it shows us all the Edge of Spider-Verse stuff and crap like that. So, but no, that's
sweet.
So I mean, for us, it's really good for what we do. I mean,
and I gotta say, it's pretty clean and slick interface too. Like this is I think the computer program is very basic, but I think the app for the phone is pretty damn amazing.
Yeah, for me, I'm just more of a computer guy. I'm always on the computer because I got my scanner over here. Actually,
and I use nothing but the app.
Yeah, he uses nothing, but Scotty has 2,000 books compared to my 100 books I have in my, theoretically, like
yeah,
he's in more.
Yeah, I mean it's especially great if they have barcodes because you can literally just boom, boom, boom.
So,
wow, that's pretty amazing.
And then how we do it. I mean, I guess we peel back the cover how we use it technically. So like we like sell ours. So like when we sell our things, so basically we put it for sale and in collection. So in collection means I have it in our collection, but I don't have it for sale yet. Like it's not on the website or not listed anywhere. And then when we do it, I flipped it for sale. And then when it sells, I put it back in a not in collection. And then I put a sold date in notes. So that's how we kind of.
That is perfect for tracking all that information. That's huge.
Yeah. So, and then we gotta write on the back. So on the back of our comics, we write the index number.
Yeah, so we know which book it relates to.
Yeah, so like how you got guys who are like selling books, and they we just write down the numbers pretty much and how much do we sell it for. So you have to write down like ASM 5 variant, what I'm saying, and write down a whole bunch of stuff. Usually, theoretically, me and Scotty have it down to a pretty much a good system where we can just write down the index numbers and then what they sold for, and then we can settle up every night. And then same thing with inventory, because we did our first year with other inventory software, and it was just a nightmare. Remember, it took it like so long to reconcile inventory after a con. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah.
So we could do this every night, theoretically, after every day. We just go through and boom.
And we
boom,
we tried every one we could. Like Tony literally, I think, tried every single software that was available.
He did.
And he was like, when he found CLZ, he goes, I think this is the one.
Yep. And it was pretty easy after that. Like, so.
And I missed the first little part of it. Does this help you guys in your listing of eBay?
I don't think there's any export feature.
I'm sorry. There's an export. I'll go through that. So there's an export feature. You actually can export here to CSV and text, but it's just a big spreadsheet. It's not like you can dump all that data into eBay right away. I mean, maybe you could if you had some coding software stuff, but it's just way too.
I don't think there's too much software out there that actually will allow you to take inventory and then just directly list it to eBay, because we tried to do that. I think there's something wonky with eBay that doesn't allow like second or third party software to list, because Tony had we had, I forget what software we were using, and it was supposed to be like it was like e-commerce software.
Oh, Vendio.
Yeah, it was supposed to set up our, a website for us and then list everything on eBay.
Yeah.
And then when something sold on eBay, it would take it, or on the website, it would take it off eBay and vice versa.
Yep.
Except it started taking all of our listings off.
Yeah.
And like literally deleting them. Like we couldn't even like relist them because it was gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That'd be very interesting to see what, if anybody listening, throw it up on Instagram, and maybe we'll make a little Instagram post of asking if anybody out there has a good listing thing for eBay and maybe some tips, because I know that it can be a pain for a lot of people. And one of the things that I really like about that CLZ that I just noticed is, and when you were talking about being able to have the index numbers, is one of the things that I'm really bad about is I'll list books, and then they won't sell. Some books don't take a long time to sell, and I'll forget what box they're in.
Yeah.
Because, and you could just, as soon as they have an index number, you can just say, okay, in this, you don't even have to sort. You can just say, all right, the index numbers. Here's the index numbers in this box, and they're all in order.
Yep.
So
that's where you could also use the location. You could number your boxes and put location box 21.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's huge. If you have like a nice drawer box set up or something to where you don't have to constantly be lifting long boxes or whatnot.
And they do update the app too. I know Robert Fordham on the chat's asking about like special Comic Con variants and exclusives. I wouldn't say they're slow to do it, but they're missing
the database definitely updates. I haven't found a book yet that I couldn't find in the database.
Correct. I think I had to do a couple manuals, and I can't remember what they were. I think they were just new books that came out like that week or something. that
yeah, you
hasn't been
usually
ran
have to
through.
wait like a week or so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, honestly, the support's really nice. I mean, we haven't had too many, I guess, issues theoretically, but I
I
mean,
wouldn't say we had any issues, right?
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've never had to call like
No.
customer service or anything like that. So,
And I'd say the biggest thing for us was, again, with the personal information, being able to customize what information we wanted to put into this, because a lot of the other databases you couldn't put like price bought,
yeah,
when you bought it, notes or anything. A lot of times it was just like, oh, what, when did you buy it and what grade is it? Like that was a
Yeah.
lot of the comic collecting software. It just wasn't enough for
like a business side of things.
yeah, the business side, yeah.
So,
Yeah, a lot of people, they kind of don't go that route of having the information of what you bought it for and how much you made on it, and
Oh yeah,
that is invaluable, because if not, you could be losing a lot of money.
oh yeah. I mean, you have to know what you paid for something.
yeah. I mean, we're pretty good at it. Like me and Scott pretty much know what we bought all our books for theoretically. I mean,
Yeah, I'm good with numbers, so I can remember most of them.
yeah. I mean,
But
if somebody comes up and says, "Hey, a key book for $5," we're gonna, we know we spent more than that. Obviously, I mean,
but
we
the
won't
key
be
thing
off
is,
that much.
but also the key thing is to sometimes price your books in a way that tells you what you paid for them. Some guys will double the price, for instance. So they know, all right, if this book's listed at 20, all right, I paid 10 for it, so I know that I got some wiggle room.
Yeah, yeah. So, speaking of listing things, so I do like Scotty does all the CLZ stuff.
Yeah, I don't do any listings. That's not my thing.
Yeah. I guess Paul, you want to give out the 5-minute warning first before I get into eBay?
Yeah, we're just going to do a 5-minute warning for our new Flipside T-shirt we're going to give away. So give a 5-minute warning, then we'll cover this next topic, and then we'll whoever's live in the YouTube chat, just have you throw your name out there, and then we'll make a list. And Scott's going to run a random.org raffle for us, and whoever gets it, we'll get in touch with you and get your shirt.
A brand new Flipside shirt that we're going to be coming out with.
The unlimited edition. That's what I used to tell people.
The unlimited limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition. So, like we were saying, so Scotty does all the inventory inputs, like listings and stuff. But Tony was doing it in the beginning. He was doing both, and he was an animal at it. He does all the site listings on the website. So we made a website, forgotten5comics.com, obviously. And basically we made the website, and Tony made all this stuff. It wasn't like we said a grand idea. Tony made a website. So basically I take the website listings and I push those into eBay. So it's no fancy software. It just makes things 10 times easier. I guess, should we show it off? I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it happen.
Okay, so let me share a screen and see what I can do here. Okay, so what I do is I usually have like 10 screens going at the same time. So let me do this. So I do this. Usually I have like my comic shop, but I won't worry about that over here. I put our CLZ stuff here. Let me go through all this crap. Let me throw this over here so you can see all this crap first. Okay, so I'm in. Okay, I'm already logged in. Okay, good. Okay, so this is our store. We'll put eBay up here. So basically, if I want to sell something, right, go to sell like everybody does. And let me present to everybody so everybody can see this too. So basically, you create your listing, right? No big deal. If it loads up. Okay. So I start here, right? Create listing, right? So if I pick a book, I'll just pick this book, right? We'll pick this book. And we'll go to dashboard.
Yeah, it's really nice that you have your web page to be able to pull stuff from. Yeah,
it's actually really nice. And I just picked this book because it's probably the first book on the actual page. So
yeah, Tony came up with this method.
Yeah, so basically this is our website, and this is the back end of it, so you can see everything. So basically I go to edit, And basically, it just gives me all this stuff. So basically, I start my listing. So we have templates made. So you can see slabs at my house and raws at Scotty's house. So obviously, the raw book, I'm gonna hit start listing, right? So basically, what we do is I put an E down here usually. I'll load this book up. I don't care. Maybe it'll sell. So I hit E. I hit save. E just means it's on eBay. So we know what's on eBay and what's not on eBay. Because he loads books on the site before I get a chance to do it. Okay. So basically what I do is I hit find product over here and I hit continue without selecting a product, because if you don't do that, eBay's going to try to find a product that's closely related to yours, and it might not be the same thing you're looking for. It might be like Batman Adventures might turn into Harley Quinn. You know, Batman Adventures 12 might turn into Harley Quinn as a search thing, like as your product title. So you really don't want that. So basically all I do is I grab this, right? Boom. I throw it in here. I don't know what an ampersand does it, but I'm not worried about it. So I do this. I look whose book it is. That's why I have CLZ up. I'll just say it's an F5 book, even though it's not. I put F5 down here. I put our label. So basically that's our SKU number we were talking about in CLZ. So I'm just going to make one up right now. And I put F. I do store category. So it's a, you know, when the book came out, and he's got it already listed over here. It's a modern age book, right? And I put other, so it's no big deal. I put no UPC code. I usually put the description in here, so that's a grade. So I go back up here. I do VF near mint, right? And then usually I put notes down here too. So like if Scotty has notes like centerfold detached or something like that, I throw that in there. Now here's the cool part. So instead of adding photos, what we do is you hit copy your photos from a web address. Then I go over here, and this is the listing on our site, and I open these two up, and then I go, boom, copy. I paste it. I copy this page. I paste it, and I hit import. And
oh,
boom,
that's huge. That's
boom,
huge.
right there. It just imports the photos right there, and it doesn't downsize them or anything.
Because one of the things that drives me nuts is taking how long it takes to get scans of books.
Yeah, so we got everything pre-scanned, and so Scotty scans everything, and so do I. So everything's got scans, and Tony kind of sets it up on the listing software. He kind of puts all the scans in and fixes all the stuff on this part of everything. So I can just go in and just boom, boom, boom. I can knock them out pretty quickly because it's already set up beforehand. Going to eBay, and then basically I go down to here, item specifics. I go boom. I add all these. It kind of just does everything. The thing you got to watch out for is the grade, because the grade usually doesn't. You just make sure you got the right grade. It's not signed. I add that one. So I just put a publisher down. So like whatever the publisher was for this one, I'll just say Marvel. But we have a whole bunch of them listed, Action Comics, whatever. So I just put this for now. You can add like main characters. That's what we kind of do. And then basically this is all set up already. Auctions, listings, our comic prices, our payment, our security, shipping, all that stuff. I change it to fixed price, or you can do an auction if you want. Fixed price, we do a little numbering here, you know, like I'll put $1,000 for this book. I'm not going to list it though.
If anybody wants to make an offer, we'll take 500.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'll just do this. I'll put, you know, let buyers make offer, and I'll set a decline at like $500. We'll say whatever. So anything lower than 500 is going to get automatically declined. Anything above that's going to let us go through. So we get low ballers. We take low ballers out of the situation.
Now, I just want to interject real quick.
Yeah.
That's important. Like for people who hate seeing low ball offers for the best offers, set the auto decline at a price, like pick a price that you don't want to sell it for under that price, and then set your price at that auto decline at that. And this way you don't even see the offers, because it just automatically declines them, and they have to come above the price that your lowest price before you even see it.
And then what you're gonna do, too, is you'll see people when you start doing it, you'll be on their third or fourth offer already because they're just trying to see where your range is at.
I love when you get the guy with the last offer and finally gets through, and you're like, yeah, I'll counter offer you.
Yeah. The quantity, so you can do multiples or one, obviously. We have to do sales tax. I don't know about that. This is already set up for me, so I do PayPal, and then I just do like the flat UPS rate, whatever priority, boom. And then this is already loaded for me because it's off a template. I just do the weight, boom, and it's going to Philly. Or I can change it to wherever we want to go, and then boom, list item, and it's done. I mean, if I didn't have to explain that, that would probably be 10 seconds, or about 2 minutes, probably 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah, learning how to utilize those templates is huge.
Yeah, I mean, I got one for slabs, and then I got one for
raws.
For raws. I mean, that's pretty much the easiest way that we've seen it done. I mean, I've seen like garage sale and stuff like that. Garage sale, I looked at like a video of it, and it's kind of like this setup here for the template, but you got to like manually type things in and then move move photos over and then look for photos on your drive and stuff like that. I mean, this key right here, dude, is probably the greatest thing where you don't have to search for anything. Like, if I don't sell anything on the website, we were talking about this. If we never sell anything ever on the website, I'm still going to keep the website up just because of the photo integration and the eBay. I mean, it's worth every penny, and I mean, we don't pay that much for it technically. So
yeah, it's just a clean way to get your inventory.
Yeah. So that's how we kind of do it, and then I just hit update here, and I close it out, and it updates everything, and then and I update it, and then it has Tony sets all this up, so I really don't have to do anything. I just hit E, boom, done, and I close this out, and I move on to the next one. And then usually, like, it's the next one down, the next one down, the next one down, the next one, But usually I start, you can see a little bit like, boom, it tells you what you're doing and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we do, at least from our side of things. I mean, that's I wouldn't say, is it the most efficient? Maybe not. I mean, there's probably somebody,
It works for us, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're small potatoes when you consider them my comic shop guys and the guys like, obviously the bigger nature guys.
Yeah, I would imagine the bigger shops probably have custom made software or database.
Yeah. I know some guys like who the guys Reese's Comics, they still use a spreadsheet, man. Can you believe that?
No, I couldn't imagine. Like, we got to like 500 books in a spreadsheet, and I told Dino, I'm like, we can't do this.
Yeah. So
it's gonna work.
Yeah, so that's how we do it. I mean, obviously, I would say probably bigger than 50% of people on CBSI, maybe. I don't know, 60%. I don't know. So, I mean, that's how we do things. I mean, it's one way to do things. I mean, is it the best way? We don't know. It's just our way. So,
I mean, if anybody has an alternative software or anything, I mean, definitely let us know, because always looking for ways to improve the system.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's how we kind of do things. So,
all right, we're going to do a giveaway time. So right now, everybody just sound off in the chat. Type your name out. I'm going to make a list, and then we'll do a random.org, and whoever wins will get a free t-shirt.
All right, I'm going to take a quick drink break.
You want me to do the random.org on screen share?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Let's see if I can. I just signed up for something I'm totally not prepared for, but it's okay. Is it still working? Random.org.
Right. Oh, yeah. I heard they slowed it down. I don't know. I kind of have a medium-sized collection these days, and I haven't finished it yet, but I took all my books, and I've just started sorting them alphabetically. Even if I have one Cyborg book, like, I'll just put a divider and put Cyborg. So when I sell books that I like relist that I originally listed 6 months ago or something, it's so much easier to find it than just digging and digging and digging. So if you're not looking for software, but you're still struggling, that's a good place to start. And you can get those nice dividers from BCW.
Oh, yeah, guys, just say N or something so I know what you guys are doing in the YouTube chat so I can add people as we go along. How people are listening real time, not lagging.
It's probably lagging, but we have one guy, Airhole Dynamics. He's the only one that followed instructions, so he might be the only winner.
That could be. Let's see.
Very important to follow instructions.
I like the screen share thing, dude. It's nice.
Did you guys read that Sierra source code thing while names trickle in?
I did. Yeah, that was really
That's the Leisure Suit Larry and all that, right?
Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry. There are a couple like old, basically pre-PC games at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny. You know what's funny? Some little kid was asking about. He was talking about Leisure Suit Larry in like a restaurant. I'm like, bro.
So now he's selling like the source code and like I think like original artwork too, right?
Yeah, he was gonna throw it all away. His kids didn't want it. He didn't know what to do with it. He didn't think it'd go for anything on eBay. It went for quite a bit of money.
How
What'd
much?
it go
I,
for?
I didn't end up seeing. I read it be like when it got listed. That's when I read the article.
When did it get listed? You said. I'm sorry.
Like a week or two ago.
Yeah, early December.
I got a bunch of stuff up. I don't have no.
I had the article up. I want to make sure I'm clicking on the right thing. Like,
It's so funny to hear that leisure
Larry
suit
went for
Larry.
like 50. His
Growing up,
entire source code collection. Let's see.
Now, what can you do with the source code?
I mean, it just tells you how to program it. I mean, you could port it, I guess.
I think it's just
theoretically.
like having the original art to a video game. Like you.
oh
you
wow, yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Because I remember reading that like just because you had the source code doesn't give you the rights to sell. Like you can't sell the rights or anything like that. But I think you were allowed to do whatever you wanted with it in your own.
Bopabet, I got some rare Apple games sold for 10 grand of his stuff.
Really?
Dude, look at his sold listings on this thing. Some of his sold listings are insane right now. $500.
Let me see that link.
Here's a link. Give me 1 second. There it is. I put it in the little
Gotcha.
group chat. Yeah. I did sold.
So this guy worked at Sierra, and then like just took his work with him. He's 72 years old, and he just kept all his original floppies and all his original source code, and then his kids don't want it, so he threw it on eBay and didn't.
That's amazing.
Know what would happen. Leisure Suit Larry, $405. I mean, crazy.
That's freaking cool. Good
Sierra
for him.
Xmas card collectors, $501.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Right?
I mean, I guess as a collect, I mean, this stuff is probably going to be worth a shit ton of money at some point, right? Like, I mean, the early computer stuff.
It's like me and DeVoe were kind of talking about this.
How about that Woodrow Lau?
Yeah, right.
Me and DeVoe were kind of talking about this. What about video game cover art? Like, what about like the original art for Battletoads, the cover? That's got to be out there somewhere, right?
I mean, that's iconic.
Well, think about that Mega Man 2 cover, right? I mean, that's an iconic cover, and I couldn't even imagine what the original art for that thing would go for.
Yeah, so far I have on my list, I got Airhole Dynamics, Robert Fordham, Mike Z, Joe Seaborn, Bolo 79, Dennis Hayes, and I think that's it for now.
I got
anybody else?
I got Earl, Mike Z, Fordham, Dennis Hayes, Bolo, Joe Seaborn.
Joe Seaborn, yep. So if anybody's listening, chime in right now, please.
Paul's trying to sneak in with his name.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, I saw that, dude.
Paul's shady. You gotta watch out for him.
It's pretty amazing that he sold the one for 10 grand. 10 grand for that game.
What's the limit that eBay will take on fees? Didn't we talk about that a while ago? Like
it's don't quote me. I think it's $500 max fee.
No, I think it's $250.
Is it $250? $250. That's not bad, dude. If you sell something for 10 grand and you take $250, I mean.
Yeah. So that basically comes out to about like $2,500 sale.
So my question, and Scotty probably get with me on this one. This ought to be interesting. So you sold something for 10 grand, a rare Apple game. You shipping that thing for 10 grand, like certified mail? What are you gonna do with that?
I would
deliver it personally. Shit.
Yeah.
You ship it registered because basically what happens with registered is somebody has to like sign and take custody of it at every turn of the way. That's why like registered takes like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's really the only way. It's the only way you could send like really expensive stuff. Yeah. Like whatever the limit is for regular post office, like that's where you have to go to registered.
Oh, and just so FYI, I ran into this because we shipped something to Germany. Different countries, if you're going international, have limits for USPS stuff. So there's like a table out there. So USPS might not be the great. They have a limit. So like Germany has like I found out had a $500 limit. So you might have to get additional insurance to a third party.
Like ship shore or something like that.
Ship shore, ship cover, or whatever it is. Yeah. So just FYI for people, that's a eBay tidbit there.
Mike Z says registered is no joke. Someone will lose their job if they lose it.
Oh yeah, buddy.
I think if you get you hit a certain book value for CGC, they automatically send it registered.
Oh, I wouldn't. What are you gonna send Incredible Hulk 1 through? Like, dude, I'd register that all day, dude.
Yeah, take my ASM 15 or AF 15 9.0. I'll send that media mail.
Yeah.
I wonder if my comic shop does the same thing. I bet they do.
All right, is there any last takers for the giveaway? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
This is where Z would mention that we have like 10 people.
We have 17 watching.
Yeah, we only got 4 of us. So.
Only 6 people on the list, so some people are missing out.
Hey, they're probably starting from the beginning. They're probably going to be adding later.
That sucks.
I know.
That's why you got to get on when it starts. Get in while the goods.
I'll take the heat for that one because I did it like 10 seconds before we got on, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. You're gonna call it, Scotty. You call it, man.
Well, I thought you were doing it.
No, I mean, no. You want to call off when you're done, like when you're ending the sign up.
I'll tell you what. It's 10:23. We'll give it another 10 minutes just in case somebody's delayed.
Okay.
So we'll give them 10 minutes. So what's our next topic? John Z had a nice topic. He wanted to know what percentage of comic/collectible market is bought with credit.
I bet you there's a bunch.
That's legit credit, not like, hey, I put it on my credit card so I can get and I pay it off right away. Like you're like credit where it's like probably a big book where you got to pay it off in multiple months. Not like
I mean, I do that.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
It's just ones and zeros.
See, yeah, you kill me with that. Every time we go to a con, he's like, it's just ones and zeros. I'm like, okay.
It only matters when cash leaves my hand. That's the only time I could feel it.
I know. You know what's funny? Like, I've never bought a book on a credit card, like a legit, like a big book on a credit card and made monthly payments on it.
Well, I have one credit card that I use just for comic stuff. So, and it's tied into my PayPal account. So, basically, whatever I sell, I use to just pay off on the card, and the card gets me whatever comics I want.
I mean, like, I got a pretty high. Well, that's the other thing too. I have like a pretty high limit on my credit card. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying like Amex Black, but it's pretty high. Like, I mean, I could go credit card like an AF15 if I wanted to, but I mean, what's 27% on that? You know what I'm saying? Like something ridiculous. Like, you know.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? You got a credit card. A lot of those credit cards don't charge interest. You know, say you got a credit card and it's saying, oh, it doesn't charge interest for 2 years or a year. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, man. If you can buy and flip books in that amount of time and you're very diligent about, you know, what you do and you don't go crazy. It's almost like, you know, I hate to use this example to compare it to, but it's kind of like those people that are out there that are, you know, chipping drugs and stuff, you know. Oh, I can do it and not get hooked. Well, you know, a lot of people try and it doesn't work very often. But, you know, if you can make money off of those books and put that money right back in to pay off that credit card, why not do it? You know?
Yeah. I would say the only thing is if you overextend yourself, if you put yourself in a position where, all right, something happens to me, you know, if you don't have like books that you can move fast to get yourself out of that debt, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Like you got to have the liquid assets to be able to like cover that debt immediately in case something happens.
Well, yeah, that too. Or like, don't take a gamble. Say you buy a book on the first, right? And you know your credit card statement's due the 30th. Like, oh, I got 29 days to flip this book, or, you know, something crazy like that. That's, you know, that's scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's always dangerous, but
yeah. I mean, like, say you're buying an AF15, like, oh, I can flip this in, you know, 30 days, you know, for X amount of dollars. It's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, don't overextend yourself too crazy. Like,
I would never like never put yourself in a position where you have to move something fast, because that's usually when you're going to lose money on it.
Yeah. I mean, okay. How about this one? I mean, what was your comfort level be? I mean, nobody can. You don't have to say the crazy amount, but what's your comfort level? You think you'd buy a book on a credit limit for?
$1,000.
Yeah, for me too.
Hmm.
I mean, I have spent $2,000 on a credit card on a book. See, I know if John Z was here, he would back me up.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, honestly, I mean, it depends. Well, it's all about how we talk about it, like on all our podcasts, right? It's all about rarity. It's all about, is that book ever going to come again?
What you want, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you buy the book, you don't buy the grade. I mean, that's if you're. Well, are you keeping it? Are you flipping it? I mean, it's all of those decisions too. But
yeah, I mean, most of the time, if I'm spending $2,000 on a book, it's something I'm holding on to for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like you're trying to flip a 2K book in.
No.
Yeah.
And usually, if I'm paying with a card, that means that it's probably a good deal, and it's probably offsets the finance charges that it'll take as well.
And you're adding an extra layer of protection for $2,000 too, theoretically, right? I mean,
I got to tell you guys, I kind of think think about this a lot nowadays, especially for what some of these variants lately have been going for. You know, like the Land Spider-Gwen variant and
poor Z.
Yeah, you know, some of these books that are up there for $2,000-$3,000, and I think to myself, that's where the big money is being made. And a lot of these guys can go out there and if you have the big money, it's just like saying you got to have money to make money. And some of these guys that are, it's hard to go buy dollar books and flip them for $5 and think that you're going to make enough money to not just be a hobby. The big money is being made flipping big books.
Yep.
And those big books, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them are bought on credit, you know. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I know this. I know that a lot of the big stores out there and a lot of the have these diamond accounts, and they have been, you know, doing their diamond accounts for years on diamond credit. And, you know, they have, like, you know, some of these big stores and these big dealers out there have unlimited amount of credit through diamond. And, you know, they use that a lot to, you know, make a lot of their money, stock up on certain things, statues, a lot of those big high-priced, high-dollar things, and they can always, you know, pre-sell them and just use credit to buy them, you know. So I think that's how big money is being made, and I think it's obviously it's not just in comics; it's in a lot of stuff that big money is being made, you know, through credit, and it's been happening for a long time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you figure like nobody's carrying $10,000 in cash in their pocket. Like most.
Hey, wait! Don't try to say you're not. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I wouldn't. Like you said, dude. Like, yeah, $10,000 in cash. I mean, that's
unless it's the fake wallet that Paul carries around, right?
Don't doubt the decoy wallet.
The decoy wallet.
We did see somebody carrying some large money at Indy. That one
the Bible.
Dude, yeah, the Bible, dude. I mean, but
this guy had a fucking Bible carved out, and that's where he kept his money. A Bible in a briefcase,
dude. I mean, and he had stacks.
He spent like $4,000 on those.
I got respect for that, man. Though that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it is cool, but I mean, it's like, you know, that's a risk too. You're carrying cash around. You don't know the problem is like, it's not you, it's who's watching you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
you could be as secretive as you can. Like, you know, you could have the Paul W. money pouch, fake wallet, fake everything, and it's like somebody's gonna be watching you and like, dude, that dude's got money. I'm gonna wait for him to go to the bathroom or wait for him. Like, I'm from the hood, man. Like, you wait for somebody to go here and there, and you flip that dude. It's like it's over, dude. Like, you know, and you won't even see him coming. You know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, they take a credit card. You say none of those charges are mine, and they take the charges away.
Well, you know, I read a quick article. I just kind of skimmed over it. I didn't do much. And that one of the things they were talking about is how much money is being made these days off of fake, you know, tech for money, you know, these big money transactions. And there's a lot of fake tech out there, you know, apps and this and that people are falling for. And there's a lot of money being made off of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, that trickles down through these big credit transactions. So there's always a thief somewhere.
I'm doing pretty well with the Amazon credit card. I signed up for that for the rewards, and then I just switched over all of our most of our house bills to it since we're going to pay them anyway, electric and blah blah blah, and just racking up the Amazon points. Definitely helping out this month.
And you can pay, some companies I know won't let you make bill payments on credit cards.
Yeah, there's only my gas company won't, but they said starting next year, eventually they're going to.
A lot of guys been doing that with Sky Miles too, like mile points. Like people will put their house on their credit card for miles or airplane miles. I know a person who did that and bought a trip to like a ticket to Australia. He just put all his bills on it for a year on his he paid for everything on his credit card and just paid it back out of his bank account. He racked up like so many miles. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, especially for people out there listening that think that this is their new racket, the discipline it takes to continually do that is ridiculous. So, I know a lot of people that are listening are like, probably have already had these thoughts go through their head or have already played that game. But for the people out there that are thinking that this is going to fund their new comic book business, just think about the discipline it takes to keep the route.
Yeah, I wouldn't just so people are like, I'm gonna add to it. I guess don't think you're gonna go buy like a big collection on a credit, like dollar books or like some big inventory, and think you're gonna be able to wipe through it in a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta be smart about what you buy. Obviously.
Yes.
So
yes. Amen.
Amen. All right, giveaway time.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. This is terrible. I hope we don't get shut down for all this crap, but it's okay. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so you're gonna roll the dice, right?
Yeah, you want the list, or do you have the list?
I got the list over here, right?
You got six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them.
There we go. 8 times, right, boys? 8 times.
Yep.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just double check 8 times. That's like what we used to do. There's your winner.
Who is it?
Robert Fordham.
Robert.
Congratulations, man.
Robert. Congratulations, Robert. Hit me up on Hangouts and get me the size that you want and the color and your address. I'll get this out to you as soon as possible.
Cool. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
We'll get it out to you in Baltimore next year.
Yeah. No, it won't be that long.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy. We met him before. Really nice dude.
Good dude.
So that comment makes me want to ask you guys, got any big shows that anybody's going to or setting up at any time soon?
I think we just paid our booth fee, right? Do you know?
Not yet. I will. This week I will. Heroes Con, Charlotte in June. Way out in June though. We'll talk about it more when we get there. That's
a great con. I'm jealous. I've been hearing about that con for 15 years now. About it being one of the. Excited. Yeah, especially when it comes to meeting creators, comic creators. That's the place to do it. So.
I've heard that as well. I'm not nervous, but this is going to be a very good test of playing with the big boys, I guess.
Yeah. So it goes to our first little conversation of the night, Here's you guys jumping in that big boy pool and seeing if you can pull it off. I hope everything goes well.
I mean, honestly,
we'll have fun at least.
The booth price wasn't ridiculous, theoretically. No. I mean, for what we paid in the booth, I thought it'd be more. I mean, obviously, it's not San Diego price, it's not New York Comic Con price, but I mean, it wasn't bad. So you see, even
it was what 900, right?
I think it was $875 or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's another question about how to play that game, that booth game, and the con game. Because there's some guys out there that aren't doing bring all their inventory at the con. They make their money, getting books signed, and I know that's a big, huge thing on like the Facebook groups and everything. You send them your books, and they go and get them signed, and
that's a rat race.
Oh man, it is such a rat race, and I really give it out to some of those people that pull it off because it just seems like it's such a pain in the ass, and they've got to be making decent money doing it, but I couldn't do it myself. I see these guys, that are running around this con.
There's easier ways to make money.
Yeah.
Well, and then the thing too is like, Scotty kind of talked about it. It's a lot of pressure, like especially if you're trying to go for 9.8s. It's not. I mean, it's different if you're just like, hey, can I get this book signed? And I don't really care if it comes back 9.8 or not. Or you're trying to get it slabbed, or because you got to get the book and then you're taking it out and you got to window it. Are you windowing it right? You know what I'm saying?
And CGC won't accept the book if it's windowed. You got to take it out of that windowed book.
And you got to take it out and put it in a real bag and board. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to, or like you said, or they flip the bag and board, right?
Yeah.
She wanted to flip it where the window is like covered by a board.
That's why, I will say this. This is a mantra I live by. Don't ever crack a 9.8 to get an autograph on it and think that you're going to keep that 9.8.
Because it's not even up to you. It's totally not up to you. Like, I mean, the guy could be moving the marker and just like jerks a comic book, you know what I'm saying, and flexes the cover on the.
I've seen Todd McFarlane manhandle books. Every time I've seen him sign books, he manhandles. I mean, I've literally seen him fold up, when somebody like kind of folds up a book and like, like a zero or like a circle, as he's holding it, talking to whoever he's talking to. And I'm just thinking, you're manhandling that book. And, he's not even thinking about it. So I couldn't imagine.
Well, he made his money on that book already.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't, the way he complains.
It's a tough game out there. I mean, it's like, it didn't like, when like Scotty knows, like we had an issue with Baltimore. It's like it takes time to window books too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a 3-second process.
And not only that, like you see those guys at the cons. They have these like briefcases and store folios with them, like literally where they have like 100 books in there, and they're all like, all right, this one's got to be signed by that guy, and then that one's got to be signed by that guy. Like I can't imagine you making enough money to be worth it, that rat race.
Yeah.
Like you're better off digging through boxes and getting deals. Like, plus it just seems so damn stressful too. Like I got 8 books signed in Baltimore and it drove me nuts.
Oh, it's so funny.
The last con I went to, and I said, this is the last time I'm doing this. I went and got like 5 or 6 books signed by people, and I wanted to get them graded. And the amount of money that I spent to these creators and CGC, because they charge so much more if you're getting them CGC, witnessed, and it was just like, it's just not worth it to me anymore. It's just not worth it for me to do that.
And that's the thing is, it's expensive for you to do it yourself and do these services. Like, if you're paying somebody to do it, I mean, how much is it costing you to get a book signed, graded, and shipped back to you?
Yeah. And usually, they're only making $20-$25 off of the person for each book, if it's a big name. But still, I mean, you McFarland, you're paying $100 just to have him sign a book,
and he won't sign certain books either.
Yeah. So
I think that's stupid. I get he doesn't want to sign those remastered ones because they're kind of using his artwork and not paying him at all for it. But if it's stuff that he already like, if I brought an ASM 300 up to him and he said, "Oh no, I'm not signing that," I'd be like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things that's really soured me on some of these creators is when you walk up to somebody like George Perez, and he's the nicest guy in the world, and he'll sign anything, and then he's giving out, he's doing sketches for $20, like 8x10, quick, like. For $20 or $40, and he's the nicest guy in the world, and he'll sit there and talk to you, and he's just
like Steranko.
Yeah, Steranko. You got these guys who are legends that are just, they'll sign anything, they'll talk to you, they don't care. And then you got these prima donnas out there, and I understand that they've been taken advantage of, this and that. But think about some of these legends who have been taken advantage of, and they just want to talk. They're happy to talk to people. So it's give and take, and nothing's black and white in this world. I get it. There's always a gray area, but sometimes it's just, if you don't want to be there, don't be there. Like a lot of these creators, they just it's like the worst thing in the world to sign a book for somebody, and talk to somebody. And these people want to talk to you because they hold you in high regard. And a lot of people are making money off you, but some of these people are still just doing it because they want to meet you. So it's a tough game. I couldn't do that either. Makes you wonder how much money some of these guys are. I mean, like you look at the Gronovs and the J. Scott Campbells, and they got to be making so much money doing their own store variants. That
you figure they're paying the same price that everybody else pays for a regular Marvel book.
Yes,
Campbell's printing out a money machine, I think, in his basement.
And not only that, they don't have to pay the artist for the artwork since they're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And then they could probably turn around and sell the original artwork too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was a brilliant move by them. They cut out all the middlemen basically.
Yeah, but then they're also like Gronov, and he's reprinting some of his really great books, and it's like, are you devaluing how? Maybe they're not looking at it like they're devaluing the spec value, but they're reprinting that amazing cover. And one of the reasons why some of those covers are so amazing is because they're hard to get. It's not.
Yeah. But what? The same argument was made when the Lamole variants came out. I mean, I don't think they hurt any of the variants that.
Yeah, you might be right. But then you got to look at that other group. I forget that other group that was doing the. What was that group that was on Facebook? The Facebook group that fell apart. Brain Trust, right?
Yeah,
and they definitely had to hurt some of because of the way they were doing things. But you never know if they were doing things. If they weren't doing things underhandedly, would they have hurt those books?
Yeah, I think it was more a brand issue than a book issue.
Yeah.
I guess Robert Ford is saying Art Germ's starting his.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Why not? Fuck it, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what it's going to do is probably going to cut out some of the greaseball store variants. If all these artists do it themselves, then these guys aren't really going to have any product to push.
Yeah, Mike Z brought up the Tech 880 one, and one of the things about that is that cover is just so amazing, and it's like one of the reasons why it's so amazing is because it's not a variant. It's just a regular book, and now he put out that Virgin variant for it, and yeah, it's still cool. I mean, I can't remember if he do something special with it other than being Virgin.
I think
variant.
It was foil.
Yeah, it was foil too. So, but man, that one of the things about that book that was so great is you can go out and find it in the wild because it wasn't a variant, and it was just part of the regular run. And certain things like that make those books special.
Oh yeah, and I think that the reason why, and they're that special, and they will always be that special. Like I don't see those books like. I think the ones that are being reproduced, like they're mostly pretty damn iconic. So, I mean, how many AF-15 reproductions are there?
Yeah.
It's not like they're. I don't know. If you start seeing multiple reprints of the same book, then I'm gonna call foul. But if it's just one of them, like the Gronov Venom one he did, like I thought that was pretty cool. The white background was a nice touch.
Yeah.
I'm a Gronov fan, so like I bought one just for my PC. Like those books aren't going to ever really be worth anything, but I don't see the regular one going down.
Yeah,
I hope
people
not.
are still going to know what the original is.
What's that, Paul?
People are still going to know what the original is.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then they'll look it up and be like, well, why is this one so much more expensive if it looks the same?
Yeah.
And then I think it could only draw more attention back to the original.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it comes out where like this year it's the white background, then next year is the red background, then it's like, yo, dude, all right, knock it off. You did it once, that's it. You made some money off of it.
Yeah, but there's guys doing that. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it all comes down to are you gonna buy it? Like, people are buying it. People, if they stop making it, or I'm sorry, if people stop buying it, they'll stop making it.
Yep. Yep. Money is always the bottom line. So, what we got next, boys?
I kind of added this. We kind of talked about Sierra source code, but Mike Z put in the Hangouts an interesting question. Is G Plus shutting down going to affect the comic market at least temporarily?
I don't know. That is a pretty damn good question. I hadn't really thought that out yet.
All I ever hear is articles and things like, yeah, Google Plus is shutting down, and all the comments are like, I never use it, I hate it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think outside of our bubble, I don't know that it's going to affect too much. I mean, the problem is CBSI has grown beyond G Plus now, so it's going to be really hard to tell.
I mean, you can look at the website and get the same information, but
yeah.
Are you going to get the breaking news right away, like how we get on G Plus more than a website?
Well, you're gonna have to get that on IG.
Yeah,
Mr. Bolo.
It's very interesting bringing up that question. Now that I think about it, how influential the G Plus community was for the comic speculation community.
Yeah,
it was. I remember, most of us early on catching on to that, and it was kind of funny because I didn't even want to tell my friends about it at first, because it was like that little honey hole that you didn't want to talk about, and it blew up so fast. To the point where everybody's creating a different group, and there was some nastiness that happened, but the G Plus community was such a big deal for the comic speculation.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, it was an easy place where you could just, get all the information.
I think G Plus will be missed. It's very good for what it is, where somebody can post something, and then everybody can comment on it and add their own 2 cents, and it really enabled discussions better than like a forum ever could.
Yeah. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing for that. I remember at one point, you're kind of refreshing it, like hoping there was a new story. When it was first coming up, it was like, all right, it's been a couple hours. Let me see if there's anything, people showing their buys, and I think that was the thing that really pulled me on to it, was the things people were picking up. This is what I got at this place, and pick this up out of these dollar books, and it became, I say it all the time that CBSI is now the new wizard, and that's exactly what it was. It was that it became that wizard, but on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So.
This is a good question Bolo had. How old is the CBSI G Plus community? Well, Scotty's like number 3?
Yep, 2014.
I was about to say that's when I got on, just right at the end of 2014.
I think right about the beginning, like I want to say either December of 17 or January of December of 13 or January of 14.
Yeah. It was matter of fact, it's funny because that's another good thing is you can go look at your Hangout messages to even see. I can go look at my Hangout messages and see when I first started talking to people in CBSI, the G Plus groups, and
try purging your Hangouts. You can't.
I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it because
I actually tried because I'm like, why do I have all these conversations? I deleted them all. And then, like, you go on your computer and they pop right back up, and then you go back to your phone, and then it's like, oh, well, you saw them on your computer, so we put them back.
Yeah, mine goes back. My first little thing was October of 2014 is when I first started talking to people on CBSI through Hangouts.
So, mine stops in May of 15 for some reason. I know it was before that.
It's just, I love looking at. One of the people, and like a lot of people, that pulled me into CBSI was Walker. And I remember one of the first things that Walker posted that made me contact him immediately, like, hey, do you want to get rid of that book? Was he I've always been a guy that's been looking for the Marvel border books, and forever I could never find the Star Marvel books in the wild. And I remember Walker posting a Muppets Marvel border book, and that had that book and still to this day the Peter Porker book have eluded me. And I remember when Walker posted that Muppet books, oh, I got this for $1, and
of course you did.
Yeah, right. And it was like, holy cow, man! There's people out there that are know that these books are rare, and
Dude, I remember the first time that Tim Walker popped, like his name popped into my my psyche. He posted like getting 6 ASM 300s for like $2 a piece.
Yeah.
And we're all like, nah, you're full of shit, dude. Nah, you always post this stuff and blah, blah, blah.
God. It was epic.
And he literally, he showed the invoice and it literally was $2 a piece times 6.
Yep.
And we were just like, all right. And then from that point on, no one ever questioned him.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it. He finds them. He's
a
magician.
I know how he does it.
Yeah, but knowing and being able to do it are two different things.
Yeah, it's definitely a how would I say it? It's an artistry. It's like he's like an artist when it comes to that stuff, man.
He has the internet comic book buying figured out.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'm sad to see it go. It's going to be an end of an era.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like Hangouts is still going to be around, so I'm glad we were able to talk to everybody. Like obviously, I got to talk to Scott, Tony, and Sean, but I mean, with everybody else too, at least Hangouts is still around. So I mean,
Hangouts will be there. I mean, figure something out.
I mean, are they there? I know at one point they were saying they were going to get rid of Google Drive too. Have they decided to continue that? Because I know Google Drive, I use that.
We run our whole business on Google
Drive. We run our whole
business
business on Google Drive. So I hope not. If not, we're gonna have to find something real quick.
We're gonna have to find another cloud service.
Yeah. I heard they're gonna push people from Hangouts to something else too. So hopefully that's still in the works.
Man, Google needs to stop fucking with shit. Things are good. Like, leave it alone.
Have they said why they're getting rid of Hangouts? Is there a definitive reason why they're getting rid of it?
I didn't hear them getting rid of it yet. Did you hear that?
It's been a rumor for a while.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a data hack.
I just figured
because I think that's what the rumor is with Google Plus, is that there was a data hack, and rather than deal with it and fix the issue, they'd rather just shut it down.
Oh, sorry, that's what I mean by Google. I didn't mean to say Hangouts. I meant Google Plus.
Oh, you're scaring everybody.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but wait a second. On March 2nd, 2018, which is way before that. Oh, they went with the Google Drive app kind of went away. I guess the
Google. Yeah, there was an app for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think it was like a Chrome extension app.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think Drive is going to actually go away. I mean, it's one of their biggest.
No, because I mean, they charge for it. Like if you want more storage, like I think I pay like an extra $10 a year for 100 gig.
On yours or us?
On mine, but I mean that's where everything is. I mean, I needed some extra for myself, so.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, they have all that info and stuff like that. It'd be stupid to keep. I mean, so.
Well, we'll see.
I know one thing is I am not joining Facebook, so. It's not happening.
Yeah.
I got you an Alexa for Christmas.
I've gone this long. I've gone this long without being on Facebook, and you don't. As someone who's never been on Facebook, you don't understand the harassment. Like, I'm a marginalized person.
You're a minimalist when it comes to
I never Facebooker.
Yeah, it's good. You're still fucking around with MySpace.
You're trying to be Tom's friend, dude.
Dude, Tom. Yeah, Tom was my boy.
I'm on Facebook, but I'm only on Facebook for like an alumni hockey game. I hardly ever post anything, man.
Nah, I don't. I just don't even want to get involved with it.
So
it's sad because that's become everybody's, social aspect. I mean, they're on it because that's the only place they can talk to their friends anymore, and that's just sad. I mean, it's really sad, but that's just how people are nowadays. Everything has become Facebook and look at Instagram. I mean, Instagram's getting pretty crazy too. So
yeah, I mean, you can send direct messages in Instagram rather than text now.
We're on Instagram. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, Instagram's okay. I mean, I'm not on Snapchat. Like, I'm not a Snapchat guy either. Like, I don't know how it works. I don't know anything.
Well, it's very interesting about Instagram and one of the things that really pisses me off is Instagram. There's a lot of people that run their businesses through Instagram. A lot of people, have a lot going, behind their Instagram account. And if a hacker hacks into your Instagram account, there is no way, and they lock you out of that account. There is absolutely no way to contact Instagram. The only way that you can contact Instagram is through your account. And if you can't get into your account, you can't contact them because you go to their page, you call their number, and it just says, oh, go to this website and read this instruction on how to contact us. And that you have to do it through your Instagram. So these hackers, especially in Russia, they figured out, okay, we can do this. Let's go hack these people who have all this money tied up in their Instagram account and tell them after, 3 or 4 months and, changing everything on their account, this and that. And then we'll contact them and say, hey, we'll give you back your account for $20,000.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Because there's no way to contact them. And that's exactly what happened to me. I had an Instagram account that I started way back when Instagram first started, and I just never got on it. And all of a sudden I went to go log into it, and I don't know, about 6 months ago, and a Russian hacker had signed into it 4 months before I tried to log into it again. And I've been trying for 5 months now, contacting Instagram a couple times a week, doing what they say I'm supposed to do, and I have not heard back from Instagram once. I went on internet, found out their number where you can call them to a landline. It's just a robocall that says, go to this webpage if you've been hacked. And it's just like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? And they're such a big company. And if I'm not mistaken, I think does Facebook own them or does Google own them? Google, yeah. So what the hell are they doing not being able to contact them if you've been hacked?
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
That's the problem.
Facebook who own them.
I'm going to try to get verified on Instagram, I think.
Here's the real deal with Instagram is you're not paying a dime to use their service.
Amen.
So they really don't give a crap what you have to say.
They don't.
As long as they're making money hand over fist, and with this, they don't care.
Yeah.
And if you're not using that account and Russian hackers are using it and bumping it up and they're making money off them, then they'd probably prefer that.
It's like WoW, dude. It's like Brian don't know about this. It's like WoW and like farming for gold and hacking and gold. Like some Chinese person steals, and usually it's Asian. I'm not trying to be racist. Yeah. It's usually Chinese people from WoW who steal your account and then like try to farm for gold or steal your stuff and sell it and then make money.
I remember before they came out with the little dongles, where you had to get a login number to log into your accounts for those things. And before those came out for World of Warcraft and all that stuff, there was a documentary on it, and they have these Chinese gold farming, sweat.
It's like a cubicle. It's not a cubicle, but it's like a computer farm.
Yeah, it's a sweatshop. It's a complete sweatshop. They're paying these kids, 3 cents an hour to go and hack into people's accounts, and then they farm gold all day on this fake gold in this video game and sell the gold to people for
for real money, right?
For real money. And they're literally sweatshops over there that are doing this. And
I gotta say though, if my sweatshop is me having to play video games all day, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Maybe we shouldn't call it sweatshops.
Yeah. Well, you should watch the documentary, man. It's not.
Yeah, I'm sure it's entirely unhumane conditions.
Yeah. Yeah.
No breaks, no nothing. Probably it's terrible.
But again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Money's the bottom line. If there's always somebody out there that's got a way to screw over the next guy, So it's interesting to see where that's going with all the with the internet and the tech and I love when Wood talks about what he does going to the HackerCon in Vegas and the white hat hackers and that's so damn interesting with where that's going, that it's pretty damn scary that eventually what's on the internet about us is going to be, that's all it is going to be us, you know?
Yeah, well, it'll live on longer than us.
Yeah.
Funny story. My buddy made it. I was in college. I graduated 2004, so this is probably like 2001 or two. Buddy made like a little website and posted some pictures up there, and literally, like, it's still up there. Like 15, 16 years later, it's still up.
That's awesome.
Wow. So, yeah, the internet doesn't forget. Don't ever forget that, people.
Oh, a perfect example of that is these people going and searching on these famous celebrities' Twitter feeds from 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's not even that. The
I love
other thing too is how you steal people's stuff. Not steal people's stuff. You get domain names of like TomCruise.com or something like that, and then hold it hostage. You know.
I remember there was a story about a guy that would just go buy blue.com, red.com, you know, just any simple word. He'd buy it for $10 and sell it, you know, 10 years later, you know, to American Express for $2 million, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, somebody remember Hotmail back in the day it became Live. Microsoft forgot to renew the web domain in the UK. Somebody bought it and held it hostage for like 3 hours just for giggles. And he could have ransomed it off if he wanted to. He gave it back to him, but
he did it just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think there's people that do that still to this day for celebrities. I don't know if it's Joe Rogan or for somebody else that's, you know, some guy's got his name joerogan.com and still won't, you know, wants millions of dollars for it, you know, or whatever. So
yeah,
that's smart. That's smart. You know, I hate to say it, it's underhanded, but it's smart.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good stuff. What do we got next year?
No Sony at E3, huh? What do you guys think about that?
As a Sony guy, it crushes me. But, I mean, I understand. I guess Sony was talking about how expensive it was and just...
What is it expensive for them to set up there? Like, or is it just expensing going there?
I think it's going there, setting up, you know... Well, and then, you know, I think the whole production, everything, because you got to have trailers, you got to have product going out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cheap to do anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get bugs and have a trailer made and all this stuff and be able to talk about a product. Because, I mean, E3, I mean, if you present a bad product, it's going to, like Diablo for the cell phone. Like, you hear about that? Like,
I mean, you can't simplify that game like that.
Yeah, and people were getting really mad. It's like it's where products go and live and die. So I mean,
because Diablo, I remember playing the first Diablo in college. Mm-hmm. Like that game was fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
People are pissed about it. That's for sure.
People are very mad about it.
You don't fuck with people's childhood games.
Well, not only that, they used that, like, that was supposed to be this huge rollout at BlizzCon, and, you know, everybody was looking forward to some new news about Diablo, maybe a new expansion, maybe something, and they released that information, and everybody were like, you guys are ridiculous if you think that was going to be something that we were going to be excited about. You know?
Everyone, and it was funny, everyone has a cell phone. It's like, yeah, but we don't want to play Diablo on it.
Yeah, it's like such a detailed game, and it's like I'm gonna need a tablet just to read anything.
Yeah.
Because that guy has like 3 paragraphs of text for his move.
It's probably just easier to make a good trailer and throw it on YouTube, and then it goes viral on its own, and you don't have to blow all the money going to a show. I mean, who is the big comic player who pulled out of San Diego this year? Was it
Mile High? Yeah, Mile High. And he's been threatening to do that for probably 10 years now. So
yeah, but he has a gigantic booth though.
I mean, it was like $16,000 to. It was like big. I mean, it was big money. I mean, it wasn't.
But he only ever sold trades and stuff, right? I remember going and like.
I've never been there, so.
I was going back in the early 2000s, and every time I would walk by Mile Highs, it was nothing but trades, and I used to think to myself, he spent all this money for this booth, and it's just trades. I just didn't think he would make that much money, but he had to have been making that much money to be spending that much every year. It almost seems like maybe it's worth more in the amount of people that go to San Diego now, just as advertising, to have a big booth than what you sell, what you make at the show.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean maybe, but he didn't he have like the biggest booth there?
yeah, it was definitely
Like maybe you just don't get a gigantic booth.
I mean, what's a good rule of thumb for a show? At least double your booth cost. I mean, isn't that like at least the smallest goal you should go for?
Well, I mean, it depends upon what other costs you have along there. Like, if the con is local and your travel expenses are nothing, yeah, I mean double would be awesome. But I mean, if you're traveling, hotel, and all that, you might need triple, quadruple.
Yeah.
Because I mean, don't forget, you need to make a profit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Sony not being there, and they've got to have something in their back pocket, right, for not going to that.
I don't know.
I mean, what's the word? Do they have a new PlayStation coming out, or do they have anything big on the horizon? Or
I mean, how much better can these game consoles get?
I agree.
I mean, after PS2, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. Like, what else can you do?
Yeah.
Like, I know they can make the graphics better and all that, but I mean, honestly, I'm not that impressed with the graphics anymore. And I don't think anything needs to really be improved, so I don't think you need to keep selling systems. But I mean, I guess they need to feed them the monkey, right?
Yeah.
But don't.
It's all about it's not about graphics. It's about power and stuff like that, like better processors and better graphics cards and stuff like that. So I mean,
yeah, but they have to be approaching the limits of silicon chips by now.
Well, probably that, but I mean, you could still get better refresh rates on a monitor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you're cheating pretty much nowadays if you don't have a 100 above 120 hertz TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, people go to competitions, and you're not having your old tubes anymore. You have like 120 hertz refresh rate on a gaming system. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess it's from storage too, because I mean, video game consoles are the storage is becoming a problem. Like, every game's 80 gigs now, or 40 gigs. You only can put how many games can you put on a PlayStation 4? Like 5, 6 maybe?
That's why you need an Xbox, dog. You just plug a USB hard drive into it and you're set.
And you could probably do that. You could probably do an external hard drive on PS4 too, but I'm just saying, like, you figure internally you would have a couple terabytes so you can put a bunch of games on there. But I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but all that stuff, but what I'm getting at is at this point, all that stuff's modular. Like, there's no reason to really be redesigned. Because here's what I really don't understand about it is they lose money on every system they ever make.
Yep.
Like, they don't make money off the systems; they make it off the games. So why spend any money on a goddamn system? Just make some more games.
Yeah.
And I really don't see how you can make it much better now. You have to be pretty much, I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, man. I mean, PS5, Xbox, well, all these new Xboxes are like super gaming ones.
They tried the 3D, they tried the VR. Like, I don't really see any of that stuff sticking.
I mean, maybe VR if they had it right. I mean, the next thing is like having a simulator. You know what I'm saying? Like, theoretically, right? Have a VR with like a running pad. You know what I'm saying? Where you could like actually walk around and like in a virtual world. But I mean,
they haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, but for a common person, not like
for a common man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I bet you that simulator costs like 20 grand or something,
I've
something
seen some of those crazy like racing ones with hydraulics and
oh yeah, dude,
it's insane.
I mean, those are probably 25 grand. I mean, once you get the hydraulics and all that stuff, I mean, getting a system to run it, just a computer with a video card and a screen, but getting the pneumatic cylinders, everything's a whole different, or hydraulics is a whole different stratosphere. So
yeah, I mean, But what do they release a new system every about 5 to 8 years?
Yeah, 5 years usually, 4 to 5 years. I mean, it just comes down to because it's so upgrades in technology in 5 years. Like think about that. Like you had 1080p, now it's 4K. 4K will be 8K.
Now let me ask you guys: because I just bought this. Do any of you guys have the NVIDIA Shield?
Wood did. I know Wood's not here, but Wood does.
It's pretty badass. You can basically stream like PC games on it.
So I thought about buying a Shield. So I was talking to the missus, and she's talking about I talked about getting a new TV because I have my old Bravia here. It's not a smart TV at all. There's no smart TV. So do you have a 4K TV, Scott?
No.
So I mean, so that Shield, does that do like Netflix and all that crap too?
Yeah, it does. Basically, it can do almost anything, and you can basically install almost any Android app too.
Do you plug it in via HDMI?
HDMI, yeah.
And there's a power cord too.
Yeah.
Obviously. I might get that because I thought about getting a Roku streaming stick, but I might as well just get NVIDIA.
No, dude, it's badass because it comes with a lot of games. It gives you a lot of access to a lot of games, like Hitman, like the early Assassin's Creed, some Call of Duties. Some games you have to pay for. Some games are free.
How much did it cost you?
I got it for $140, but it's usually like $200.
That's not bad, dude.
But I mean, you could get it on sale. If the price, it's always on sale somewhere.
Yeah. I might buy that then. I guess I thought about getting a new. So I've been thinking about getting a new monitor, a new computer monitor to play video games, like a fashion and 120 hertz monitor and a new 4K TV. I've been waiting around for Super Bowl time.
Now, if you have a Steam account,
yeah, I do.
You can stream your Steam games on there.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. How big is it? Is it pretty big size?
It's not big at all. It's probably like
a paperback book or something.
Yeah, it's probably more like the size of a DVD, like DVD case.
Yeah. Did you get one, Paul?
I bought one and then I returned it just because I wanted it for one thing and it didn't do it. So
what did you want it for? This should be interesting.
Yeah, it's ought to be funny.
I wanted the Amazon Kindle app on it, and it wouldn't work properly. So I said, "Fuck it." But,
you wanted to read books?
I wanted to read books on my TV and just sit there with a remote, just turn the pages.
Oh god!
We just walked into a Paul's problem without having Paul's problem.
You can't do it. So I returned it. I have the Amazon Fire TVs, but I'll probably upgrade.
Why don't you just buy a Fire tablet?
Oh no, I have Kindle tablets too, but I wanted to every now and then just chill in my recliner and just have a remote, turn the page.
Paul wanted to relax.
Yeah,
I wanted to relax.
Paul's like that, that old cartoon you see with the guy with the ticker for the stock market. He's like, "Oh, I just want to read a book and smoke my pipe."
But I want to upgrade the 2 of my Fire TVs to the NVIDIA Shield. A buddy of mine gives me access to his media server, and I think the stuff's just gonna stream a lot better.
It's pretty powerful.
Some of his 4K movies won't stream through the Fire TV, it won't convert it. And he says he doesn't friends of his don't have that issue on the Shield. So I'll probably just use those Amazon points and save up and just go ahead and go hog wild and get 2 at once, and then see if I can sell.
You got 2 choices. The one just comes with the stick remote, and then the other comes with the stick remote and the game controller.
Yeah, I might do one of each.
Yeah, the game controller is nice. It's not bad.
Is it a USB? I guess. The wireless.
It's wireless.
I wonder if you could do a PlayStation one.
It's Bluetooth, so I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you could.
I honestly, she doesn't even need it for the game. I mean, maybe I'll do. I don't know. It's only an extra $20. I mean,
but I mean, there's like I said, there's a ton of games on there. Like it's a lot of like little shit too, like arcade games and shit like that.
She likes to play video games. Maybe I'll get that for. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta get a new TV first. That's my big thing. My big thing is a new monitor and a new TV. I mean, that's my big ticket purchase.
Some of the TVs that have the same specs, just that aren't smart, are a lot cheaper. And if you just plug a box into it and then hook your TV up with
just
Ethernet.
put a shield on it.
I don't even do that, dude. I just plug my. So I guess I can show everybody. It's not like I got anything crazy down here. So like if you see, like, here's my TV right next to me. I just plug it into my computer here, and I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? I just HDMI into my computer, just make that my third computer screen.
So that's
things over.
That's exactly what I did about 10 years ago. I cut all the cable ties and everything and just built a cheap HTPC, which is basically just a regular PC, you know, with a couple extra things. But I'll never go back to not having a little PC setup or some type of Raspberry Pi setup to run my TV because
and I just stream Netflix on it. I mean, my computer is like superhuman. I mean, I could pretty much take over the world if I wanted to with it. And I just stream Netflix on it or Sling or whatever I want to stream on it. I just, for upstairs, because this TV, my Bravia, I got my Bravia back like 06 or something. And it's not a smart TV. It's like when TVs were like $3,000 and I got mine refurbed for like $1,000. I mean, the bezel
so cheap now.
Oh, I know. The bezel, look at the bezel on this damn thing. I mean, the bezel is like an inch and a half thick on this goddamn thing. Oh, it's terrible. It weighs like 800 pounds. I mean, but I mean, I got my money out of it. It's not like I never got my money out of it.
Dude, try giving that thing away. People be like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, I can't. That's what me and the missus were talking about. That it's like I can't even give it away. Like, even my monitors are so old. It's like,
dude, I had a 27-inch tube TV. It was high def, like one of the first high def tube TVs.
Yeah.
And I couldn't give the thing away.
Dude, my cousin had the first like iteration of the
weighed like 100 pounds.
Yeah, my cousin had an HDTV, and he had a 50-inch HDTV. It literally took two of us to carry it up the stairs.
And it was heavy as.
Oh my god! We had to set it down midway through. I mean, it was that heavy. And I'm like, dude, man, like it's. No.
Hey, now just wait 20 years, and that thing you can sell on eBay maybe for $10,000.
Yeah, but how are you gonna ship it?
Yeah, maybe back then they'll have Star Trek, energizers or whatever.
And these new ones crack me up. They're light as hell.
I mean, it's funny because my girlfriend always looks at it and she's like, it's bigger than 52 inches. I'm like, hon, because the bezel's like 4 inches. So it's like, it looks bigger than what it was, like what she says about everything else.
2 inches thick around of plastic.
I know. So, I mean, I don't know.
So real quick, something I want to bring up before we call it a night is something that I have to come out and say that I believe I was totally wrong on. I know I don't believe 100%.
I better get this down in writing.
And I can't believe how good it is, and that is Titans. Have you guys been watching it?
I don't have that subscription, man.
Oh my god, it is so damn good. It is so damn good. This latest episode, they're doing such a good job. I can't believe how good it is. And I, we were also worried about how Starfire was going to be, and
how she looked and everything.
And that chick is killing it, man. She's totally won me over with her acting and how she's playing the role. And dude, Dick Grayson I remember watching the first episode thinking, he's too violent. I don't like him. And that has been the perfect thing, how violent he is. And having Jeff Johns be a major part of it, I think, is the whole key. It's one of the best shows. It's the only show on TV right now without Game of Thrones being around where I'm like, waiting. I'm like, Thursday comes, I'm like, oh, okay, good. A new Titans comes out Friday. I really can't believe how good it is. And I have to, be one of the few people to come out and say I was totally wrong. And for anybody out there that isn't watching it because of how bad we lambasted the previews and everything, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's totally worth it just to get a 7-day trial and binge on, because the season finale is coming out next Friday or this upcoming Friday, so you can binge 7 days, get all those episodes and cancel it if you want. But it is it's one of the best shows on TV and one of the best comic shows I've ever seen. So
how long are the episodes?
They're about an hour. It's very dark. It's really dark, and
Does it have ads in the middle of them?
No ads. No, it goes by. To me, it's one of those shows, like Game of Thrones, where you're watching it and you're like, how's it already over? It feels like that was 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And there's scenes in it, where something will happen and you just get so stoked because you're like, I can't believe they did that. There's a couple episodes where you're just thinking to yourself after you watch it, like, you would think that if somebody told you that they were going to do the Doom Patrol, you would just think to yourself, "There's no way they can do it cool," and still stick with the original idea. And man, they're doing such a good job. The guest appearances from the characters that they pull in. They did this new guest appearance with I won't ruin it for anybody, but this week and last week they had a guest appearance come on that was just perfect. So definitely, if you're on the fence, go watch it. It is worth it.
I guess it's 50% off the subscription from Errol from on the YouTube chat. It says it's 50% off the subscription too. So if you're looking to buy it, I guess it's
good call, Errol, because it's.
Do they have more stuff coming in the pipeline, or is it?
Yes. As far as I don't see how they couldn't. I mean, it's so good, and I can't believe that more people aren't talking about it. Maybe I'm one of the few people on the outside that think it's good, but I don't know. I was the person. I'd never thought I would ever be saying this. Like I was just like, there's no way that's going to be good. I was one of the first people to agree with everybody on how bad it looked, and it's my favorite show to watch right now. So definitely go check it out. Use the 7-day subscription to binge it if you have to. And then on top of it, if it turns out you like it, start watching, because they're going to start you're going to be able to watch the new animated series or the new animated shows the second they come out on there. They've got Superman, the Reign of the Superman coming. You can watch all the old school Batman movies. You can watch the Batman animated series. You can watch. There's all kinds of Birds of Prey series. There's all kinds of cool stuff on there that you can watch that, maybe you haven't thought about in a long time. So
I think people are getting. I agree that's great and everything. I bet you people are getting stream fatigue. Like I got Hulu, I got Sling TV, I got Netflix. Now you're adding DC. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, and that I agree 100%.
That might be an issue. I mean, I'm not saying it is the issue. It might be the issue where somebody at the end of the day, that's what they're thinking about, trying to think about,
I only have Netflix and I have Prime just because I have Prime.
Well, one of the things about this that I really like that is different than what they're doing like on Netflix with like the Daredevil shows and everything. One of the things about the Netflix Marvel shows is they hit a lull. Every season, there's a couple episodes where you're just like, man, I can't. It's kind of boring, and they could have done things. Every episode of Titans is there's none of that in there. It's all good. It is. There's no lull. It's not boring. You don't have to. I mean, if you know a little bit about Titans, that's really all you need to know. And the big bad that they got coming and everything, they kind of just let you. They don't give you full Batman. They just give you like a little bit back, and Batman's there, and and it's just perfect. I really think it's that good. It's good enough to say that I was really wrong, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Check it out.
Have you guys seen Happy?
Oh God, that's another good one, right?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with that. That was pretty hilarious.
And they're doing series. Is the second season that should be coming out soon, right? Or is it already out?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they did decide to do a second season, so that's another great one.
And that encourages me for Deadly Class, because that was done by Sci-Fi, and it was, the production value was definitely way better than I've seen from them.
Yes, the production value on that was great. The one that I'm really stoked for? I am really stoked for Umbrella Academy. I'm really looking forward to that. That was a a big book to me. I really like that book. It's something that I want to talk about in a future episode of the Flip Side. The whole thing of Gerard Way, bringing in that book to Vertigo. Who was it that did Umbrella Academy? Is that Image maybe? I can't remember, but Gerard
Vertigo,
Way.
I think.
Okay, so Gerard Way, being a comic fan, and I always thought that was really cool, and he really knocked that whole thing out of the park. That comic was really good, and the show looks amazing. So that's another one we got to key in on once we start getting more information about it. I know we have the little teaser trailer, and that was really good. There's something to be said when you can mesh everything together, music, the time period, the direct, good direction, by a director, good, principal photography, all that stuff. But music is something that people don't realize how much it lends to a good TV show. And I think Watchmen and Umbrella Academy are going to be really good doing that, because they're set in that time period where music was such a big deal.
Every time I hear that Zeppelin song, I think of Thor now.
Right? There's something to be said about a good song in the right place, and even if it's not a song we know. I mean, look at Stranger Things. The guys that do the Stranger Things, they got that. They're a band, and you can go check out their music on Spotify and everything. And that's one of my favorite bands to listen to. So, and a lot of people didn't really know much about them until Stranger Things. So there's something to be said about good music and good scores and the right song at the right moment. So, anyways,
I think we've been on for like 2.5. You want to keep going, or?
I think it's time for a Paul's problem.
Okay,
I'll give you a problem, then I'll bail.
I think we all might bail.
Yeah, but it's getting late.
So in my old car, and in my new car, but this is my old car, I always have various assortment of various things in my trunk. And
I bet you have like a whole bug out bag in your truck, don't you?
Something. But I had a milk crate in there with I don't know, like a flashlight and this and that. But one of the things in there was a baby crowbar, and I had it turned around where the straight end was pointing out, like kind of up and out a little bit. And I went to Kroger, and I got some of my, back then, my big cans of the shit beer, and I went to put it in my trunk, and the crowbar just punctured one of the cans and just exploded everywhere.
Oh my God.
Trunk. And I'm like, God damn it. So I just left it in the parking lot. Like, it was still draining. So I just set it down and left. Let's forget it. I mean, what am I going to, I really did debate going inside and trying to get a replacement, but I'm like, it's $1. I'm out of here.
Oh goodness!
You have a crowbar in your trunk?
I used to.
A baby crowbar at that.
I like how he says used to. Paul learned his lesson.
So I gotta just verify this. The shit beer, it's Labatt Ice, right?
Yeah, but I don't drink it anymore.
Oh well, at least
after he got a couple chunky cans, he's done with it.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I know that it's Labatt Ice. So for anybody out there that wants to partake in their own Paul's problems, go buy some Labatt Ice over the holidays.
You want to live life like Paul.
Just don't overpay.
You know what? For Baltimore one year, we should have a day where we just be Paul. Just, like we go out at night, just order the same drinks Paul does. Just do everything that Paul does.
A group Paul's problem.
Be like the Borg group.
A bunch of Jim being fire.
Not much will get accomplished.
Sit in fire. We should have Paul lead the night, like Saturday night group. Just lead it.
My favorite part of Baltimore was at 2 p.m. Paul calls me. So what are you guys doing? I'm like, not worth the hotel. Yeah, you should get back here, Paul. We got to leave in an hour. Oh, okay.
Where'd you guys go? I pre-packed.
Yeah.
Pre-packed.
So he comes in the room. I'm like, "Hey man, you get a pack?" He goes, "I pre-packed," and like all his crap's literally
It's
across
everywhere.
the
That was great.
It's good times. All right, boys. Let's see what we got here. Next one will be it's New Year's Eve. Can you believe that? I highly doubt we're gonna do it on New Year's Eve, but we'll figure it out.
Maybe
Might be
we do
Sunday.
it Sunday.
Yeah, maybe we do it Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might
I'm
be the
down for
move.
that.
Maybe I come down to Ohio, Paul. Maybe I see you in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Welcome, man.
To figure that out. All right, boys. Let's we're gonna call it. So
Closing time.
that's right. All right, boys. Probably 2 weeks sometime. We'll figure it out. But we got a good one.
Definitely give us a shout out on Instagram. Show us your scores, and if you've got any Flipside tales of your own, hashtag Flipside tales. Show us your man caves.
Fan cave thing went on fire, man. That was a great thing.
Hashtag Flipside fan cave.
Yep, keep it going. Let's see your upgrades, and if you got any cool ideas, throw them our way. And if you have any, like Scott was saying, if you have any good ideas on programs to use and what you guys use for your eBay listings or your comic collections.
Yep. All right, boys. Here's a good one. Another good one in the books. I like it. So. All right, we'll see everybody in 2 weeks, maybe.
All right,
Thanks for
later.
listening.
Later, everybody.